Hello and welcome to After the Headlines. I'm Sarza. Eid Mubarak. 4 days late, but Eid usually goes on for longer than a day. And today I want to talk about the world we're living in because that's been on my mind. Eid feels different for me every year because while many of us are celebrating with families, sharing meals or sending messages, Ramadan this year unfolded very differently across large parts of the world. In places like Gaza, Ramadan was marked by heartbreak, by a genocide. Families broke their fast in tents, in shelters, sometimes with very little food, relying on each other to get through the day. And Eid itself, for many reasons, became less of a celebration and more of a precision through loss, visiting homes where loved ones are no longer there, and sometimes you don't even have homes. Even places of worship were affected. In Jerusalem, for the first time in decades, access to Al-Aqsa Masjid during Eid was restricted, leaving many to pray outside. So the question becomes, what does Eid mean in a place where life has been disrupted and ended completely? In Sudan, the story is different but no less heavy. A country already in prolonged war, where millions are displaced, where hunger is widespread, where even medical supplies are running low. Ramadan there is not about fasting, it's about holding on to fragments of life, food, memory, culture, in the middle of instability. And sometimes even preserving a recipe, for example, becomes an act of resistance, right? In Iran, Ramadan also unfolded under the shadow of war, airstrikes, death, rising costs, environmental damage, moments of reflection interrupted by the realities of war. And across the region, from Lebanon to refugee camps, Ramadan was marked by something else: displacement, families on the move, borders tightening, families burying their children, growing unrest and uncertainty. Even in Lebanon, families gathered for iftar under the risk of violence. In some cases, that moment of breaking fast becomes the moment of tragedy. So when we speak of Eid and we celebrate Eid, what are we really saying? Are we celebrating or are we witnessing? Because Eid is supposed to come after a month of discipline, a month where we are asked to feel hunger, to practice restraint, to become more aware of others. But this year, for many, the hunger was not just symbolic, it was real. It was not chosen, it was imposed. And that changes the meaning of the month. Ramadan is often described as a time of empathy, but empathy only matters if it stays with us after Eid, if it shapes how we see the world, because the reality is this: we are not living in a world that is at peace, and Eid does not exist outside that reality. It exists within it, which means Eid is not just a celebration, it is also a moment of contrast between those who gather and those who cannot, between those who feast and those who are still waiting, between stability and uncertainty. And maybe that is the real reflection this Eid asks of us: not just gratitude, but awareness, not just celebration, but responsibility. Because the true test of Ramadan is not the month itself, it is what remains after it ends. Do we return unchanged, or do we carry something forward? A little more patience, a little more awareness, a little more understanding of a world that is very unequal in how it experiences even something as sacred as Ramadan. So perhaps this Eid, more than anything, is a reminder that faith is not just personal, it is also relational. It is political. It asks us to see beyond our immediate surroundings, to recognize the lives unfolding alongside ours, even when they are far away. Eid Mubarak. Thank you for listening to After the Headlines. I'm Sarza. Until next time.